Have you ever wondered why life sometimes feels like it's running on secret rules that nobody told you about? You drop your phone the one time you forgot the case. The bus comes early only when you're late. Or maybe you've had moments at work where no one explained what to do and you were left to figure things out yourself. These situations might seem random, but over time, people have noticed patterns. They started calling them laws, not the kind written in government books, but witty, almost humorous observations about life. And yet, behind the humor, there's a surprising amount of wisdom. Today, let's look at four of the most famous ones: Murphy's Law, Kidlin's Law, Gilbert's Law, and Wilson's Law, and see what they really mean for us. Murphy's Law is probably the most famous. You've heard it before. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. At first, it sounds like the universe is against us. But it's not really about cosmic bad luck. It's about preparation. When you fear that something will break, get lost, or fail, you start paying attention to it more. So you notice every mishap. Psychologists call this selective attention. Our brains highlight the negative so we can avoid danger. But Murphy's Law is also a reminder. Don't just hope things will go smoothly. Prepare for the unexpected. If your laptop might die during a presentation, bring the charger. If you're traveling, pack that extra pair of socks. Instead of being depressing, Murphy's Law can actually make you smarter and more resilient because it pushes you to think ahead. Kidlin's Law takes us in a different direction. If you can write a problem down clearly, you have already solved half of it. Think about the last time you felt stressed but couldn't explain why. The problem felt like a storm cloud in your head. Then, the moment you started writing it down, what exactly is wrong, what caused it, what options you have, it became less scary. This is because writing forces your brain to organize messy emotions into clear sentences. Suddenly, the problem feels smaller, even solvable. That's why journaling, mind maps, or even simple to-do lists work so well. Kidlin's Law reminds us that clarity is power. If you want to move forward, first define exactly what you're dealing with. Gilbert's Law is a little less known, but very practical. The biggest problem at work is that no one tells you what to do. At first, this sounds like an insult to bosses everywhere, but the meaning is deeper. It's about taking responsibility. In school, we're trained to wait for instructions. Teachers give assignments, and we follow. But in the real world, life doesn't come with a clear manual. Often, no one will tell you the perfect way to complete a task. Gilbert's Law teaches us that if you want results, it's on you to figure out the best method. Successful people don't sit around waiting for orders. They experiment, they adapt, they own the process. In other words, Gilbert's Law is a wake-up call. Stop expecting life to hand you step-by-step instructions. Instead, use your creativity and initiative to find solutions. Finally, there's Wilson's Law, which feels especially modern. If you put knowledge and intelligence above money, money will continue to come. This flips our usual way of thinking. Most people chase money first. Higher salaries, quick profits, fast rewards. But Wilson's Law suggests the opposite. Focus on learning, on building skills, on becoming wiser, and financial success will follow naturally. Think of people who invested years in learning technology, languages, or leadership. They often find themselves in high demand with opportunities chasing them. On the other hand, people who chase only money often get stuck because money without knowledge is short-lived. Wilson's Law reminds us that education and growth are not just noble goals. They're the smartest investment you can make. Now, what ties all these laws together? At first, they look like quirky little sayings, but together they form a practical philosophy for modern life. Murphy's Law keeps you humble and prepared. Kidlin's Law helps you find clarity when you're overwhelmed. Gilbert's Law pushes you to take ownership instead of waiting around. Wilson's Law points you toward the long-term value of knowledge over short-term profit. They aren't rules enforced by courts, but they explain so many of our daily frustrations and opportunities. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. They're like secret cheat codes for handling life. And maybe that's the magic. These laws make us laugh because they sound so obvious, yet they capture truths we often forget. Life is unpredictable, but with a little preparation, a little clarity, a little responsibility, and a lot of learning, we can navigate it better. The next time something goes wrong, instead of cursing your bad luck, smile and think, that's just Murphy reminding me to plan ahead. When a problem feels too heavy, grab a pen and let Kidlin lighten the load. When no one tells you what to do, remember Gilbert and take charge. And when you're unsure whether to chase money or knowledge, trust Wilson, invest in yourself, and the rest will follow. These aren't just catchy phrases. They're timeless reminders that even in the chaos, there's wisdom to guide us forward.